Good evening. I'm Candace Scalise. We have some breaking news to tell you about tonight of a man who has been accused of stealing corpses and human remains and hiding them inside of a home. He was arrested today. This is a photo of the guy, Jonathan Gerlach from Ephrata in Lancaster County. So I'm just going to read you what we just got in from authorities here. What we know so far is that this man is accused of being caught trying to steal corpses from a Philadelphia area cemetery. This is a press conference that happened in Delaware County, Pennsylvania earlier today, where the district attorney is saying they did a search warrant on his house where they found more than 100 skeletons inside. Some of those skeletons were reportedly more than 200 years old, and some belonged to newborns. Detectives say they found the following in a burlap bag: two mummified remains of small children, three skulls, and then other bones. So again, this is a photo of the suspect here, Jonathan Gerlach. He is being charged with multiple counts of burglary and abuse of a corpse. So CBS 21's Maxine Rose, one of our reporters, got to the scene this afternoon. She says there's actually an Ephrata police officer on the scene right now, just outside of the home, where authorities served a search warrant. And we're told that I think neighbors said, Maxine, that they saw officers bringing boxes out of that home. You spoke with people in the neighborhood too. What are they telling you tonight?
Yeah, well, I want to jump in and speak to that point about the Ephrata police and what neighbors were describing. I'm standing right outside of that police officer right there. And this is kind of the backside of the home there where we saw videos given to us by a neighbor, which we will show you all tonight as well, of, police kind of coming in and out of there. They said it was interesting because when investigators were here, they didn't really look like police, right? They weren't dressed as police, but you could tell that they were doing some police work,
Okay.
that they were investigators. There were some police cars, of course, that kind of gave them that clue what was going on. But you could see people walking in and out of there. And they also said that they watched as the suspect was escorted out of this home here. So we are, by the way, on Washington Avenue in Ephrata. So we are just a little bit away from where those cemeteries are located. That's in Delaware County. So what we know is that, from neighbors is that, this person had apparently lived in this building here. I'm trying to show behind me. It's kind of hard when
Yeah,
I
it's a
can't
little
flip around the
dark. We have
camera.
some video play next to you, though.
Oh, there we go. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So, so that's the home there. You can see how, tight the quarters are there, right? Those are two homes really right next
Right,
to each
that's a
other.
duplex. Yeah.
That's
So
a
you have the
duplex.
right, yeah, you have part of it with the Christmas lights and the other part of it that's dark.
Yeah, exactly. So, and of course, the part that's dark is where uh, this person was allegedly living,
Okay.
along with possibly a significant other. So
Okay.
I'm hearing that from neighbors that, the suspect, possibly significant other, have been walking around here often. We're seen with the dog walking around the neighborhood. One person told me they actually came into contact with them, started talking with them. He seemed pretty normal, didn't think anything of it at the time. I also spoke with another woman. She actually owns, there's a business, an actual business right across the street from where this is happening. So you
Oh,
can
wow.
imagine
Okay.
the impact of that as well. But I spoke with the business owner there. She said she has a friend who had worked with him, seemed like a nice guy. He was like a little off, she said, but for the most part, seemed like a fine guy, would not ever ever, of course, think that something sinister was really happening. And it's interesting too, because of these close quarters, the fact that nobody had any idea that this was going on behind those
Yeah.
walls, behind those doors in that kind of garage area I just showed you where the Ephrata police officer has been located for a good part of the night tonight, actually, kind of keeping eyes on this property here. But it's just a really interesting case because everybody says that we've spoken to tonight that they just cannot believe it happened in
Yeah.
their small, quiet, peaceful neighborhood.
Yeah, we know all this is still under investigation and, of course, innocent until proven guilty, but he is facing charges right now after being arrested. Um, have you had a chance to talk to that officer about what they're doing there, or have they given you any information?
No, we have not. We've been, trying to hear from other neighbors around here,
Yeah,
but
just get
uh,
reaction.
yeah, I'm sure, they probably can't say much, to be
Mhm.
quite honest. It is an active, ongoing investigation. I can go and try and see if they'll,
Yeah, just
share
before
anything
you,
with me.
I'd be curious if they're, I mean, they might not tell
Sure.
you if they're staking it out, but they might be just as this, like you said, investigation is active and overnight people were, taking items as evidence, I assume, out of that home.
Yeah.
And we understand too that detectives found this guy, they say, in the process of stealing corpses and bones and skeletons and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, a
Earlier
really
this week,
bizarre
too.
story. Sorry?
Yeah. Or sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was just saying earlier this week too. I mean, that this is not something that happened months ago in an ongoing investigation. It's come to this point. Like this happened this week. This
Mhm.
person was caught in a cemetery actively, you know, uh, robbing a grave
Yeah.
and even, later admitted to police
Mhm.
that is what he was doing. This is how he got in. I believe the affidavit also stated that he left his car keys at the cemetery. So he's, being brought back to these cemeteries and showing police
Interesting.
literally, what had happened. So,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, it's interesting, like you said, innocent until proven guilty. But,
Mhm.
um, the fact that he admitted to it is also a kind of shocking part here.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And of course we're going off of all of that from the police report that
Yeah.
they gifted to us today after we asked. Anything else you want to add just from, I know it's just like a shocking story in general, and then to live near it is probably even more shocking when this is going on under your nose. Oh, I wanted to ask, the photographer you're with, Jordan, earlier
Yeah.
was mentioning that he could kind of like sense a decaying smell. Is that something that you've also experienced there?
That was actually going to be my next point, as you say, happening under your nose. Yes,
Yeah.
literally happening under your nose. There is I wouldn't say strong smell.
Hmm.
Not that I know, you know,
What it smells like,
what
right?
it smells like, but it doesn't smell good. It
Yeah.
smells, pretty. It's lingering. It's lingering. Like you can smell it if you're real close. I know a neighbor had told me if you come close to one of the like basement windows here, you can really smell it. So I've been kind of
Yeah.
stepping away from that, of course. But we did. I should mention too, the neighbors with those Christmas lights there.
Yeah.
They were very kind. We knocked on the door, tried to see if they'd be willing to speak with us. They said that they would not politely, we're not going to speak about it. I believe they had told us that they were actually getting legal representation. I could imagine,
Mm.
being next door to this, um, that they
Yeah.
would in some way, have to speak with officers and just try and
Sure.
describe like what the neighbor was like. So, of course, as this all unfolds, we'll stay on top of all of those details and see
Hmm.
what comes out of it. That significant other, for example, who allegedly lived with him,
Yeah, we don't know who that is
we
right
don't
now, and
know who
that
that
person,
is. Yeah.
yeah, isn't being charged at the moment. So very interesting. Okay. So again, as we wrap up here, this is happening in Ephrata and Lancaster County. So the investigation is being handled right now by the district attorney in Delaware County for Jonathan Gerlach,
Mm.
who apparently lived here, and authorities say they found hundreds of skeletons inside this home and inside of a locker as well. Some over 200 years old, some
Mhm.
infants. And they say he was apparently caught while quote unquote grave robbing with a burlap bag too. So here's his photo. Maxine is getting ready for our shows tonight and getting all of this on our website too with our digital staff back here at CBS 21. So we'll keep you updated on this breaking news. We literally found out about this, 4 hours ago or something
Yeah.
like that. So it's been a lot of new information coming out, but a shocking story at that. So
Oh,
I'll let you get back to it, Maxine. Thank you for keeping us updated and kind of letting us know what the scene looks like tonight. And
yes.
we'll keep you guys updated too on our YouTube and Facebook pages as we continue
Yes.
this entire story and investigation as we continue to follow that.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, Maxine, you got cut off. I think that's it for tonight. So we're just there's a lot to unpack here. We are reading through the police reports that they have given us. We are talking to, of course, Maxine, who's been out in the neighborhood on Washington Avenue. I'm just looking at my notes here as we go through all the information about, the charges that this person is facing, allegedly robbing and stealing more than 100 sets of human remains. And because this case has not, gone to court yet, and he has not been found guilty, even with the admission of guilt, we still presume innocent until proven guilty. So this does, go through the court of law at this time. So all of these are just charges based on police and what they are saying and all the information that they are giving us at this time. That's who we are relying on, and the district attorney in Delaware County as well. So all this happening in Pennsylvania tonight. We'll keep you updated. We also have a separate story, but similar story about dealers of the dead. A guy named Jeremy Pauley from Cumberland County, who is actually in trouble with the law for buying and selling human remains. We don't know at this time if the two cases have any relationship, but that documentary is here on our YouTube page. If you want to look at that, that's called Dealers of the Dead. And then as we find out more information about this, we'll see if there is any connection or if these are two separate, completely different incidents. So like I said, still a lot of information coming out. We're expecting to speak with the Ephrata Police Department tomorrow morning. So look out for that. And we'll keep you updated on this breaking news that we're following. Thanks for joining us tonight. And you can always follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube too, as we keep you updated. And CBS21.com, that's where you're going to find the most in-depth information about everything that we're collecting and learning tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. And you guys have a safe night. Appreciate you.